here from the Next Issue podcast with another comic review. It's Tuesday, so it's new DC Comic Books Day. So today we'll be reviewing Batman the Detective #3. As I mentioned, this is published by DC Comics, by Tom Taylor, with art by Andy Kubert, inks by Sandra Hope, colors by Brad Anderson, and letters by Clem Robins. So if you're not reading this book, let me give you a little quick of an update. So Batman has gone to the UK to help out Knight and Squire because Knight, or the current Knight, was attacked. So in order to figure out what's going on, there's a group that is targeting people that Batman has saved in the past, which would include Knight. So in this issue, though, Batman fails to stop his enemies from attacking Henry Ducard. If you don't know who Henry Ducard, he's referred to as he's the best manhunter on the planet. He's Batman's friend and mentor, and you get that. If you don't know who Henry Ducard is, this is a great issue for you to be introduced to who he is as a character in the DC universe. So now, as he rushes Ducard to the hospital in the hopes of saving his life, he must also make sure that he can keep track of this evil group that's kind of targeting people that he's rescued or that Batman cares about. So I really enjoyed this issue. I think the story in this issue really focuses a lot on the backstory of Bruce and Ducard's relationship. So it's a nice break from the current ongoing story. That being said, it doesn't mean that there's not action and there's not so we learn a lot about their relationship via the flashbacks. As I mentioned, the art by Andy Kubert. As always, I think Andy Kubert is one of those artists that they've been doing comics so long that they just understand how to make a panel like really, really stand out. And here we get a combination of everyone's work. Like we get some heavy inks from Hope. We get obviously the pencils by Kubert. We get very little color, and then we also get the nice sound effects from the letterer Clem Robins. So like this panel kind of fully encapsulates, how collaborative of a process comic book making is. So I love as I'm reading that and I'm preparing for these reviews, I love going through that kind of stuff. Another thing is in the flashbacks, we do get a bit of a change in tone because we are somewhere else. Like for example, here as we're meeting Ducard, they have at this point they are in Paris. You can see the Louvre Museum of Art behind there. So like all those little things, all those little details that these people that have been working on comics for so long, they just really understand how to get the point to current readers and new readers. I think the issue has a very good pace because you're going back and forth between the relationship and the story, the conversation, and then Batman rushing to save Ducard's life. So you get a nice balance of action and backstory. And then we learn a lot about, once Batman does become Batman and he still kind of is aware that Ducard is out there, like he holds him up to his own code. So that's the big part of the relationship that Ducard now has to accept, that he has to live by it, or I guess he has to respect Batman's code when it comes to like killing and what to do with criminals and stuff like that. The last panel I have for everyone in the review, and I try to pick some things that were non-spoilery, but like just the way the action is portrayed here in this small series of panels, like you get a lot happens. Like this is just a quick fight between Ducard and Batman, but in a flashback. But you really understand that they are equals at this point. Like they are not, and as you can see by the cover, it was kind of hinting at conflict between them. But this is part of the flashback. So overall, this is a nice break from the story. The story is very interesting, and the group that Tom Taylor has set up to confront Batman and his allies in this book has been really interesting. So I would definitely recommend you get this. but this is a nice break in between those issues of so much that's really happened to kind of take a break and just rebuild the world of Batman and figure out who he is. I think I'm always interested in figuring out who Batman's teachers were. I think that one of my favorite things about Scott Snyder's run on Batman was that sometimes he would have little backstories in the back of the issue, explaining, who taught Batman how to drive so fast, or who taught Batman how to pick locks and stuff like that, and all the little things that kind of make him the detective who he is now. Um, One more thing about this book: this definitely focuses a lot more on Batman's detective side, which is a nice change of pace from the ongoing. So you can kind of have your cake and eat it too. If you want to read Tinian's Batman and you get a little more action, a little bit more of like big Gotham consequences, this is, even though it's abroad, it's a smaller story. Or you can get like Batman Urban Legends and just kind of go from an anthology. So Batman DC has got you covered with Batman stories. Overall, I'm picking pretty much everything Batman, but this book, yeah, I'd give it a 4 out of 5. I think it's really good. The detraction from the main story, although it's a nice break, I think overall it would make it feel better maybe if I was reading this as a trade. But yeah, it's really good. I really enjoyed it. And I always love to just kind of peer behind the curtain and find out how Batman became the Dark Knight that we know. So thanks everyone for watching. I'll be doing more reviews this week, so keep an eye on that. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Remember to share, like, subscribe, comment, send this to your friends. So yeah, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this book. I hope you go pick it up. And take care, everybody. Bye-bye.